Okay, what are her options?
Well, it's too late to try and breach queen. I've heard that already a lot. Isn't that correct?
Yeah, but how would that?
You are correct. We are now the 24th. We're 1 week away from the typical first day of fall. But it's not the first day of fall physically at this location because of the puddle.
That was a pond.
Where's John? John's close to salt water. There's several other people that are close to salt water. And they are going to have a longer season. I'm wondering if he might even have a bee come in at Christmas time.
But it's shoot through at the side. Oh, look, that's an open cap.
Okay, we found something interesting. We found queen cells that have been chewed through the side. They were?
And leave it on the first one too?
We've just found 2 queen cells that have been chewed through the side. That's indicative of a queen coming out first, and they piped for the last day to find out where each other are. And when she knows there's 2 or 3 others piping, she'll go and try and find them, and she chews open the side of their queen cell and stings them. Pardon me? Yes.
I can't stand
Google piping honeybee queens, and it's on
YouTube.
So do you think this hive is swarmed?
No, she just told me that those cells were on that frame when they moved it. So
They were?
that's what she just said.
Was the cap chewed open at that time?
This cap was open.
So they someone raised a queen at some point.
Point here.
Oh, that's from the other one?
So does he. He's got the circle.
Oh,
I
She
tried,
said
but
it's
they
been
won't
chewed
take
through
it.
the side,
They don't have anything else.
and if the queen had come out of it, the bottom of it would be hanging like a hinged door.
Right now, because
So that's how you know that what happens to those 2. Now, if you really know what you're doing, and you've got a capped queen cell like that, and if you can get in and raise it, you can raise your own queen and put it in a queen cell holder for emergencies. And I bet next year there'll be all kinds of queen cell holders for sale, and here, there, everywhere.
You could take one of your extra cells, say you found a frame with several capped queen cells, take one of those and you raise it.
Yes.
Does it need some bees to be there to raise it? Yeah.
That's what you would have in this little box where you raise the queens.
You add some.
The attendant bees are there. But really, you don't need the attendant bees once that's a capped cell. Because once she comes out, as long as there's honey there, maybe a couple drops of water, she's got to open her mouth to eat. And in that hive over there, there are attendants feeding her so that she doesn't go away from the task of laying eggs.
She even takes them with her.
They keep her just as busy as they can.
I'm taking this one and see if you could put 3 or 4 frames. Maybe get those bees and then maybe get more.
This queen.
Okay, keep on going with the options. I haven't heard the one I have in the back of my mind. Yes. If we go another month and this one hasn't improved, that's an option that will get a very nice cluster of bees through the winter.
Can you place the spring honey on the top?
Yes.
But then it makes me
Yeah.
wonder.
And still sugar on top of the inner cover or the mountain camp, whichever you prefer. The reason I like the sugar on top is when I go peek on that beautiful day in February that we're supposed to get, and I see the bees that have been up there chewing on it, I have that bag of sugar right there, and I give that inner cover another dose. That's my insurance to try and get it through.
So these
powdered
bees
sugar?
could go through the whole winter with no queen if they had plenty of sugar?
And there wasn't a lot of mites chewing on them, weakening them. You need big, fat, furry, fuzzy bees, Tony always says, to go through winter.
But they don't need to have a queen.
Well,
Boy, if you don't have any, then nobody has
nice
any.
Because her pheromone keeps the hive glued together.
Too bad I didn't put it on top of the other hive.
Enjoy seeing you on Dave Post.
Yep. Yep.
Need a Derek.
Yes, it is.
Yes. This would get the heat from the lower hive, and you could substitute her pheromone, but then come spring, you got to get a queen for this hive. Get it in there.
It's kind of like doing a split in the fall. I mean, it's crazy up here.
Because you would then mix all the bees together, and you couldn't pop this off next spring as a separate hive like you put it on. The hard screen is going to keep that from happening.
And then you know what to do with the swarm, because we tried to split the swarm, and we realized that they were going to swarm on Sunday. We tried to split them on Tuesday. And we put half the bees.
I don't know, I've never had a problem.
Another hive, a third hive we had.
I thought, I guess I'd do the mountain camp before I added the screen and put these on. The mountain camp is a 2-inch wooden shim, also called a medicine rim, a powdered sugar rim. It's used for everything. What you do is, somebody in a group goes and buys a deep, you just glue the corners together, you don't nail them. And then you set your table saw fence at 1.5 inches.
Amy,
put it
Amy,
on a key.
Amy, you've got blocks on the bottom.
Oh, they're
stuck to it.
You don't think she's
Oh, they came off of here and they stuck to the
not enough sperm or something?
No.
You're always on top of everything, aren't you?
You set your fence on the table saw for 1.5 inches wide, and you can make about 6 rims out of one deep. And you put that medicine rim, or whatever they call it, on there. You put 2 sheets of newspaper in, and then you fill that hole with sugar. And they will chew their way up from the bottom. Then you could put screen on, and put these 2 on.
I think I would shake them all into one.
Yes. One of the things I heard from one of the speakers last year at the state bee meeting is you want to make the smallest using a space in a hive that's being used. You don't want to carry an extra super that's empty, because that's a lot of space the bees have to heat and they're getting no benefit out of it. So if you have to get rid of empty frames, they're just wasting heat below. I'm starting to see drone-sized cells up here.
What are you guys looking for now, Peter?
Anything. It preferably it'd be food. I don't see any glistening.
What are they eating?
See, that would keep them up there. And if she had had a gallon of food on, they'd have been loading those cells up.
Cells and all. Scrape away.
Okay. But I mean, I go for the gusto and give them the gallon. And so,
Right now they're taking about half a tooth throughout the year, or just in summer? And how many hives? Not just the cats, some of the drones. Get the drone itself.
yeah, they'll be. Well, when you have an excessive amount of drones, it could be indicative of a laying worker, because she can't fertilize her own eggs. She hasn't been fertilized, she hasn't been mated. So all she can do is lay drones.
Oh, I see.
So if you ever hear somebody say, I've got a hive that's gone droney, or I've got a droney hive, that's the result of a laying worker kicking out a lot of eggs that